Hello, this is Sarah Braasch. Welcome back to my channel. So I just wanted to make one last video tonight before I call it a night. And I wanted just to do a quick impromptu video. So I saw that today there was a meeting of Yale President Peter Salovey's committee on diversity, inclusion, and belonging. And this is a committee that he announced the creation thereof on August 1st, 2018, when he made his disgusting, lying, grossly defamatory public statement condemning me for racial harassment, which denied me any due process rights whatsoever, precluded the possibility of me receiving a fair hearing at Yale, and basically put my life in grave danger. And as I mentioned before, I know for a fact that he was told by persons inside Yale and inside the administration that his August 1st, 2018 public statement, which said that my racist actions were the impetus for sweeping university-wide policy changes, including the creation of his Committee on Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging. I know he was told by many persons inside Yale and inside the administration that his statement was a lie, it was grossly defamatory, it was false, it would put my life in grave danger, I was suicidal, and the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale University had been a campaign to publicly shame me for my mental health disabilities. I was suicidal, I was in hiding, I was receiving thousands of death threats and threats of violence. Yale President Peter Salovey was told that that August 1st, 2018 statement was illegal and immoral and wrongful and disgusting and would endanger my life and very likely drive me to suicide or incite my murder. He didn't care. He didn't care. And I know for a fact that he also knew I was entirely innocent, because in July 2018, Yale's General Counsel admitted to my then attorney that they knew that there was absolutely no reason to think that I had ever acted out of racial animus or bias in any way, shape, or form. They knew. Yale President Peter Salovey knew on August 1st, 2018, that I was completely innocent. He knew that he was endangering the life of a completely innocent person. He knew that. He knew that he was destroying the lifelong human and civil rights, academic and legal careers of an entirely innocent person. He knew that he was probably going to get me killed. He knew that he was probably going to drive me to suicide. So that's when he announced the creation of this committee on diversity, inclusion, and belonging, and they met today on February 5th. So they met on February 5th, and I don't know if it's a complete coincidence that they met immediately after I made many public statements denouncing Yale President Peter Salovey as a bigot and a liar who didn't care if he drove me to suicide to cover up his own wrongdoing. They could have had this meeting scheduled for a long time, but the point is, and the fact is, that they met today, Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, they met today, and I just want to make absolutely clear that Yale President Peter Salovey's Committee on Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging is a complete and utter farce, just like their Title VI review report was a complete and utter farce. And like their entire Belonging at Yale initiative is a complete and utter farce. What the Yale Corporation really needs to do, if they actually want there to be a community and culture of belonging and diversity and inclusion at Yale University, the first thing they need to do is fire Yale President Peter Salovey for his grossly illegal wrongdoing and malfeasance and the violations of my federal civil rights. The second thing they need to do is fire Yale VP of Student Life, Kimberly Goff-Cruz, for the same reasons. for her gross malfeasance and illegal wrongdoing perpetrated against me, including violations of my federal civil rights. That's what they need to do. Those are the first two steps that the Yale Corporation needs to take if they actually want there to be a culture and community of diversity and inclusion and belonging at Yale University. So apparently, everyone gets to belong at Yale University except for me and students like me, older, non-traditional, lower socioeconomic class, white women graduate students with mental health disabilities. We don't get to belong. We don't get to belong. And Yale isn't welcoming to us. We're not welcome on Yale's campus. In fact, I'm banned. I'm banned on Yale's campus, from Yale's campus, and banned from teaching at Yale, with no due process whatsoever, because all charges against me were withdrawn. But at the same time, in the same breath, Yale Graduate School Dean Lynn Cooley banned me from Yale's campus and banned me from teaching at Yale with no due process whatsoever. Even though they all know I'm entirely innocent. They are trying to cover up their own wrongdoing because the Yale administration and police were complicit in the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale University. And the hate crime hoax did not take place over a couple of early morning hours on May 8th, 2018. It took place over months, since February 24th, 2018. I was completely exonerated for the February 24th, 2018 incident by the Yale housing managers. They told me not only had I done nothing wrong, but I was the only person involved who had done nothing wrong. They told me just to return to my dissertation and not give the incident another thought. Then about a week later, I found out that from Yale Housing Director George Longyear that I had been falsely accused of racism. And also, he told me that a group of Yale deans had formed a mob against me to publicly and falsely brand me a racist. And because I resisted their efforts, their Maoist struggle sessions, because I resisted their efforts to falsely and publicly brand me a racist and destroy my lifelong human and civil rights, academic and legal careers, that is why this group of Yale deans decided to participate in the living or napping while black hate crime hoax at Yale University. And that is the truth. That is the absolute 100% simple, honest to God truth. And I don't care if people call me crazy, and I don't care if people call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going to stop telling the truth. That is the absolute truth. So I just want to be 100% clear that Yale University President Peter Salovey is a liar and a bigot and a fraud, and he didn't care if he got me killed in order to cover up his own wrongdoing. And the Yale Corporation needs to fire him immediately. And the same goes for Yale VP of Student Life, Kimberly Goff-Cruz. Yeah. His Committee on Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging is a farce, a complete and utter farce. And if he actually cared about diversity, inclusion, and belonging, then I wouldn't have been ousted from Yale, targeted for my mental health disabilities, treated like a leper, like a social pariah because of my lower socioeconomic status and non-traditional status. And yeah, that's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. Also, in spring 2015, I was socially ousted by a group of graduate students, by the graduate students in the Yale Philosophy Department, because I stood up for the federal civil rights, the religious expression rights of an evangelical black man, our only person of color job candidate for an assistant professor position, tenure track position. And then those graduate students, I was later told that those graduate students went to the administration to get me expelled if they could possibly do so. And I was told that the reason why the administration at that time didn't actually take any disciplinary measures against me is because the Yale faculty stood up for me. And I absolutely believe that the Yale administration had been salivating for another bite at the expulsion apple since that time. I also do not think it is a coincidence that I was almost done with my Saving the World project, which is an analysis of how to minimize the oppression inherent in our most powerful social institutions. And then, lo and behold, one of our most powerful social institutions leads a global vilification and defamation campaign against me to destroy me. I don't think it's a coincidence, and I don't care if people call me a conspiracy theorist, and I don't care if people say I'm crazy. I'm just telling the truth. All right, I'm going to have a ton of links below, including my PayPal me and GoFundMe links. Please support me as I seek justice. As I've said time and time again, it's not just about me. It's about everyone who has been defamed and cyber-mobbed and falsely accused. It is about restoring civil liberties on college campuses across the U.S., and it is about not allowing the moral outrage industry to get one more innocent person killed. Stand with me. We have to stand up for one another. If you don't stand up for your friends when the moral outrage mob comes for them, it will be you next. It will be you next. Okay, stand with me so that I can sue Yale and sue the moral outrage industry and stop them from getting innocent people killed, quite frankly, from getting innocent people killed. All right, have a great night. Take care. Thank you so much.